Let's chat commodities now. It has been a very choppy space into the markets there, especially with the dollar index coming back above 80. It's a level that has seen some pressure coming in. On your screens, we've come back all the way from 1250 kind of levels that we saw just 24 hours back. The gold MCX in the meanwhile also trading very flat, just 8 rupees of an uptick coming in there. Silver prices in the meanwhile have seen some decline coming in yet again, back below $20 per ounce, 0.25% up in the European markets right now. It's the Indian markets really which have been holding that range of 44 to 45,000 rupees. In case of the energy space as well, this is the first week after many that you are looking at flat to slightly negative moves coming in, but it clearly has been natural gas prices which have taken the lead away. The base metal space also, while has seen strong positive economic data coming in from China and US, it really is the Fed tapering concerns which continues to put pressure onto this space as well. Let's get in then. Kunal Shah, he's head research, Nirmal Bang Commodities, and he joins us live on the show. Kunal, hi, welcome. First of all, the precious metal space, and how are you looking at that? The kind of choppy $10 to $30 move that we are seeing on a daily basis, how are you reading into that volatility?
Well, we've seen all the gains of this week has been eroded yesterday, with again the story of September coming back, taper or no taper. That's been a big dilemma. But there is a probability of 65–70% that the tapering may take place, because if you look at the Fed fund rate, that is continuously inching down, and Fed has prepared the market that even though they taper the bond purchase program, the interest rates are going to be low for 2015-2016. So maybe you are going to see some bit of taper going forward, and because of that you are seeing this kind of jitters again like we've seen in September. Not good for gold and silver especially. So irrespective of the robust demand from Middle East or China, I think gold prices are still going to remain under pressure. We've seen 3 days of gain has been eroded in 3 hours yesterday. That clearly indicates the severity of the fall, what kind of the market is still in the hands of bears. So there are a lot of gold bulls in the world, but still I think they may have to wait a little longer. So expecting further downside in both bullions, gold and silver. Gold can again go below $1,200 during next week, and silver for that matter, $18.5, $18 can be very much possible. In India, rather than gold, because of high premium, I would recommend to go short in silver, which looks much better for going short. 44,350, good levels to go short. Places stop loss of about 44,700 and expect prices to decline and test levels of 43,700, 43,600.
Kunal, come in on energy space as well, and this has been one pocket which has seen positive gains for 2013, more natural gas than crude oil prices. Which one are you playing up in case of energy now?
Yes, a lot of natural gas rigs have been closed, and most of the rigs have gone in US for shale oil rather than the gas. The rig counts of the shale oil have increased dramatically, and at the same time the peak seasonal demand in US because of the very harsh winter over there is leading into a lot of drop in inventory, robust demand which should be further supportive for natural gas. One should go long at 268, 269, expect prices to again move up at test levels of 280. So still maintaining the bullish call on natural gas. And crude oil, for the first time US crude oil production has hit 8 million barrels per day this week. Not very bullish news. So in spite of the robust distillate demand in US, we are likely to see crude oil prices going to drop further. 605060, good levels to go short on MCX, with a downside target of 6,5970 during the next week. So bearish on oil and bullish on gas.
Well, quite clear on that. The fundamentals itself say that. But Kunal, how would you look at the base metal space now? Because on one side, we are looking at strong data, and you also are looking at decline on the LME inventories, though of course 2014 could be looking at higher supplies. What's your sense with the supply demand numbers that we are getting to here? And also, how would you look at these $7,200 per ton odd kind of numbers for copper?
Generally, the first quarter of the year is a robust demand period for the base metal because of the expectation of the Chinese restocking metals. Ahead of their Lunar New Year, you are always seeing the imports of the metals perk up. So we are going to see some cyclical bounce back in the base metal after being hammered very badly throughout the year. So not structurally very bullish, but at the same time, if you are asking me from a view from the 15 days, 20 days point of view, not very bearish. from next week's point of view, you are going to see some bit of pressure after the kind of rise we have seen in prices of copper. So good levels to go short copper at current juncture, 459, 460, good levels to go short. Place a stop loss of 463 and expect prices to drop to the level of 453. But as far as the quarterly outlook is concerned, we remain slightly optimistic from the Chinese restocking point of view and some bit of cyclical recovery to take place. And in that case, zinc looks much better than other base metals.
Kunal, one final question, and how would you get into the 2014 now? From next week onward, we will see the volumes thinning out. It has been a negative year, 2013, for base metals and precious metals as well. Would you continue to hold that kind of a stance for the next year?
For the precious metal, I maintain my bearish stance going forward in 2014. Even though the bounce of $150 can come, but the broad trend for the entire year remains weak for bullions. And at the same time, metals, I'm slightly optimistic in the first quarter, but going forward, then the supply will dominate the demand side. So for the first quarter, I remain slightly optimistic, but the rest of the year still doesn't look good. So still not very bullish broadly on the commodities, even in 2014.
All right, Kunal, we'll appreciate you joining us, and thank you so much for giving us strategy. So it's all sell call coming in from Nirmal Bang, whether it's on silver, copper or crude for the intraday market today.